Hi, Chris. It's Wednesday, January 5th, and I'm going to read you my bucket list. So starting off, we have change the world. We've talked about this a little bit. I want to change the world. In some ways, I already have with things I've done at work, but I want to change the world in a way that is not just in the closed environment that I work in currently. So that's a big one. That's the biggest one. Now we're just going to go through. I've got a couple of different sections of stuff. So first off, we have the kind of personal stuff. I want to move back to Oklahoma. That's not hard. That's going to happen. We know the time frame for that. I want to raise a family. Kind of know the time frame for that too. I want to retire comfortably, for me and for Becky, of course. Got a plan in place for that. Shouldn't really be an issue. So these are just things that are going to happen. I want to write my time travel book that I think I've talked to you about a little bit. It's kind of going to be a genre that I call biblical sci-fi, but it's basically a thing that's sort of on my own, but sort of touches on a lot of things, and there's not a whole lot more I can get into with it without delving into the story, and we don't have time for that. I also want to write an historical novel that we talked about, I think, at least once, detailing cases where different outbreaks occurred throughout time. Kind of, and again, this is the novel part, making the case that AIDS has always been around. 2 books. Now we're going to get into some physical things. I want to go snorkeling sometime. Maybe as a part of that, going back to Puerto Rico with you and the folks. I want to do at least a dozen unscaled CrossFit workouts. That's going to be tough. But in addition to that, possibly as a subset of that, I want to do the following exercises in unscaled forms. I want to do freestanding handstand push-ups. I want to do pull-ups, both strict and kipping. Kipping is kind of a way that you do faster pull-ups. You still use the same amount of upper body strength, but you can get through them faster. So I want to do that technique and master it, but I also want to still be able, because some people get to the point they can't only do that, they can't really do full-on strict push-ups. So I want to be able to do both. Want to be able to do muscle-ups on rings. That's generally just the way that gymnasts get up onto rings, but it's actually pretty tough. And I want to be good at that. I want to be able to do them over and over and over. I want to master the Tabata workouts, which Tabata is, so if you do an exercise, 20 seconds on, 10 seconds off, and do rotations of that, it has the best cardiovascular and weight loss benefits you can get with almost any kind of workout. So I want to do those and incorporate those into a lot of things I'm doing over the immediate time frame. But I want to get really good at those and do several workouts that are unscaled, meaning I do 8 rounds of at least 5 exercises. I've done 4 rounds of 5 exercises and felt like passing out. So got a little ways to go. And I want to do, I should say, I want to do the Tabatas and actually have my performance on them be like meaningful in some way. Because right now, like I could do it, but I would by the end be getting like 1 exercise in, 1 rep in the last 3 rounds, and that's not anything. I want to climb, do 15-foot rope climbs, multiple, I don't know how many, 5K run, and I want to attain a vertical jump of at least 3 feet. I want some poker bowls. I want to participate in the main, play in the main event of the World Series at some point. I want to fill in all of the space on the back of my poker-themed artwork with autographs of famous poker players. Moving into the art realm, I want to finish the flag piece of art. That is this guy. Out a little bit. Just starting to look like a flag a little bit. I've got so today I actually finished reading out all the words. So that part is almost done. I've added a new element to it. I'm incorporating stuff into this piece from people that are in my life right now, people I work with specifically. You'll understand the meaning there. So I've got that. I want to finish the other 3 pieces of the house series. I want to do one of those a year for the next 3 years, at least one of those a year for the next 3 years. I have a chess set that I started painting when I was like 12. It's really cool. It's a chess set that features like fantasy pieces, like gargoyles for the pawns and knights on it and stuff for. It's really cool. We've got little doors for the guys. I want to finish that. I want to have it out on display in my house. Now, I want to have it on a table that I built myself with a chessboard built into the table. Those are 2 separate goals, but they tie in together. I want to build a scorpion sculpture that we saw recently. Do it in the way that I talk about the painting and stuff. I want to do that. I want to create a separate chess-themed piece of art that incorporates my, when I say my style, you know what it means. And then finally, I guess, I want to have an art gallery of my own at some point. I want to run or host or hold my own art gallery filled with my own art. And then we've got a couple smaller ones. So I want to dye my hair again at some point. I'm not sure what color. An unnatural color. I'm leaning toward bright red at this point in time. But I'm not 100% sure. But I want to do that. And that'll be a February thing. I think you know about the February thing. Every February, I do something drastic, or at least somewhat drastic to me anyway, to change my appearance. And that is something that goes on for at least a while moving forward. So in past years, I've gotten a tattoo. You know this guy. I cut my hair. I went clean shaven for a while. I started wearing jeans. Didn't used to wear jeans ever. Started wearing a hat. Didn't used to wear a hat ever. In fact, I don't know, other than when I played baseball as a kid, I don't know if I'd ever worn a hat besides like winter snow cap type things. But I wear a hat pretty regularly still now. That was a change I liked. I still wear jeans sometimes. I don't really do it all the time. So dyeing my hair will be another. I did that one once before, but I want to do it again because I liked it. I'll do a different color. And I've got more tattoos that I want to get on that genre too. So this year, that's going to be this year's theme. And I want to get a tattoo before we leave this area. I want to get a tattoo from the Maryland area. So it works well. We've got a February coming up. And that'll definitely happen before we move. So this year, what I'm wanting to get is a band, like an armband, that is mostly solid, big numbers for the date that Becky and I got married, small number for when we got engaged, and another small number for when we met. And then I want to have that linked to a smaller band with the date that we got Maverick. And then it'll be linked again later. I'm gesturing on my arm, but since I'm further down my arm, you can't see where I'm gesturing. There will be more links added as more people join the family, as we have kids and future pets and whatnot. And there will be differing, obviously kids and pets aren't on the same level, but there will be differing levels of bands for each. It'll be chronological, but like Becky's band will be thick, Maddie's will be small, like then kids will be thicker. Yeah. And I think that's about all I got right now. There may be more at some point. There probably will be. But a lot of those are things I'm working on already, currently, today. So, yeah. I'm sure this has been long. I don't know what the time on it is, but I'm going to go ahead and stop here. And Chris, don't forget to be awesome.